Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kaustubha. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Alachua, Florida, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Alachua, Florida, the Sunshine State. And it's pretty cold here, and I'm completely unprepared for the cold weather. I'm like, okay, kids, pack nothing but shorts and flip-flops. We're going to Florida. And we're all like, Dad, we're freezing. I was like, I can't help you. I'm cold too. But we had a lovely day last night at this nice devotee's house, Gaur Shakti. And he had like maybe 200 people at his house. And Gora sang, and who else was there? Gora sang. Oh, Badahari Prabhu was there.
Wow.
Yeah, and Vishvambar was there.
It's a yearly festival, right?
Well, you know, these are like the build-ups. It's sort of like a pre-Super Bowl party, you know? It's sort of like that. They're build-ups to the festival.
The festival's when? This weekend?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay. What's it called?
Festival of the Holy Name.
Okay.
Good name, isn't it? I always wanted to come. I've always heard a lot about it. I never came. But, you know, Alachua is like, it's like the
surreal devotional neighborhood or something like that?
It's like
it's
almost like being at a Kumbh Mela. There's so many devotees that you've heard of, you've never seen, or they know the show. I met them when they were 5 years old. You know, I'm just having like reunions with all these people or people I've never met. It's just like it's so cool. My kids, I tell you, I got that. It's late at night. It's dark. It's cold, and there's just a bunch of Krishna kids playing in the backyard, in this big backyard. My 7-year-old just takes off. I don't see him for the rest. Truth, if you want all truth, I didn't see him because I left early. I just said, Gauravani, find my son. He's 7 years old. He looks like, here's a photo of. No, he was just playing. They just play. There's just Krishna kids. You just go out and play. And then there's all young teenage Krishna kids. And there's, you know, it's like, if you're not familiar with it, it's like a whole thing. And, you know, all I did was have some flashbacks to my teenage life and tried to juxtapose it against it. Nitai Lieberman was there with his little sister and his father.
Gopi.
It was great. It was a great Krishna party. Everybody's singing. Everybody's like mature there. They've been around. There's so many third generation, like their grandfathers were devotees from Prabhupada, and then they've had grandchildren. It's third generation. Didn't we get to this point? Didn't Prabhupada say fourth generation devotees?
Fourth. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Fourth generation. You know what I'm going to say, Mara? Say it.
Light fire from mantra.
The fourth generation of strictly following devotees will be able to light fire with mantra.
How do you interpret that statement? What does that mean?
Chanting a mantra and flames go up.
No, but like, why does it have to be 4 generations in?
Oh, how do I interpret that? I just think like, because you're attracting higher beings to take birth in your womb.
You could strengthening the culture as well, right? Like the culture is getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah. Nitai Lieberman, that means you're third generation. And Gopi, your kids. You take this stuff seriously, you don't ever have to buy matches again.
That's right. Little Gopi is going to give birth someday to someone that's going to light fire by mantra. Think
Yeah.
about it.
Think about it. Forget it. I mean, you got that going for you.
You got that going. Hopefully, we'll still be around.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's Thanksgiving, Raghu. We got to talk about things. Oh, do you want to? Should we give some announcements first?
Do some announcements, and then we're going to talk about how we upcycled Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Okay. Mara, you got
We
something?
have a Bhakti recovery group meeting at noon today.
Okay.
And then do we want to announce our guest for Sunday?
So this Sunday we have the incomparable, the ultra talented, the totally lovable Kaylee Woods. Kaylee is one of the most. He's a songwriter and a performer of music. He's just a super skillful guy, and he's just
love
put
him
out
here on the show. We love him here.
Yeah, what I like is he's putting out devotional music that is like, as a contemporary songwriter would do, and he's just so super talented that he's like he writes great songs. So we're gonna have him on. His new record called "Falling Upwards" has just been released. Raghunath, "Falling
Can you
Upwards."
get it on Spotify?
You can get it on Spotify, it's streaming, and all those kind of places. You can definitely get it on Spotify. And so we're going to have him on. We're going to talk about his new record. We're going to just talk about his inspiration, maybe his songwriting process, and maybe a little bit about his life and all that. Raghunath won't be around, though, right? You'll be on the road.
No, I'm on a marathon drive because that's what I do. I'm leaving at 2 a.m. I got to get my daughter back to school by Monday. Don't give me that look, Mara. She's like, oh, there he goes again. Extreme Raghunath.
Yeah. We all know it.
I got to get her to school.
Weren't you supposed to take it easy post-COVID?
Yeah, we were.
I did take it easy.
Swami
Like,
tell you to, or something like that, didn't he? Like tell you to
Direct
slow it down or something like that.
Lady
Yeah, direct
brought me
instruction.
soup. The Polish princess brought me soup. Mara brought me soup. Bobby Marchand brought me
What does that have
pastry.
to do with anything?
I took it easy. How much longer are we gonna take it easy? I'm gonna.
You ate some
Who knows when
soup?
we can die in this world?
No, that was when you were like, that was when you got fully knocked down. But the point was, like, after getting back up on your feet, you're supposed to take it easy. That was the idea. Not that, like, as soon as you can get out of your hospital bed, you start running around like crazy again. And say, oh, now it's clicking. Oh, I didn't understand that. We care about you, Raghunath.
Yes.
When Mara looks at you like that, it's out of motherly affection.
It's true.
And that's something to be thankful for. That's the segue. Go.
Yes.
Smooth.
Well, I just got this message. Don't forget about all the horrible things that happened on Thanksgiving as well. Yes, we're gonna we can meditate on the horrible things that have happened, or we can. Here's the deal. It's like I don't like the idea of Santa Claus and tinsel trees, etc. But but in the commercialization of Christmas, I think there's an essence that like thoughtful people or spiritual people or philosophical people take out of it. So with Christmas, it's like I don't look at it even as a religious holiday in one sense, even though I do go to church with my mom. I look at it as a time where you sort of like get together with people you care about and you exchange gifts of love. And I think that's like that's the best thing I can do to extract essential teachings, whatever they were, and then whatever they've become. They've sort of all become twisted in different ways. So I like to see Thanksgiving come together with people you love and give appreciation for what we have.
Okay.
Give appreciation for what we have. It has no other historical meaning to me. I don't know what happened. And there's always some like sort of dark past, but I'm not going to, if I appreciate people get into this thing like, we're going to appreciate the Native Americans who we decimated on this ground today. And that makes it better. It doesn't make it better. I mean, it's nice to be a little thoughtful, but today for me, there's going to be a day of appreciation, of gratitude, and surround myself with the people I care about and be a little bit more conscious of gratitude.
Okay.
Someone messaged me right at the last minute, right before I was ready to go into a flow. That's why I broke into all that. I won't say who is it, but she's on Zoom right now.
Okay. Well, in any case, I think, it's common in cultures to have like at like the harvest time, you have some kind of demonstration of gratitude, right?
Yeah. That was Sam Hain, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Wasn't that
No
with
idea.
the Sam Hain, the The fall festival, the appreciation.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oktoberfest, maybe that was Oktoberfest.
But in any case, you know, the just the virtue of gratitude is something that's essential to bhakti, is it not?
Let's bring it there. Thank
Yeah.
you, Kaustubha.
Yeah. It's like
The virtue, you can't be. Matter of fact, I think it was Lakshman who said,
oh yeah.
ingratitude.
Well, he was looking at the other way, ingratitude, yeah.
Ingratitude is the greatest of all crimes.
Yeah.
Right. He was saying that to Sugriva, who in all that Ram did for Sugriva, and then he just forgot what Ram's gift was. And then instead he just sat there and forgot that he had to do something in service of Ram. So it's probably actually the biggest deficit we have in our country, in our family, in our life, in our world, is this concept of ingratitude. I don't appreciate what I have. I don't appreciate what I've been given. I don't appreciate who has loved me. Instead, I flip it and I turn it, I'm entitled to this. I'm entitled to this. How dare they not include me in this? And because of that, comes a natural result of bitterness, sadness, fury. Whereas once there's gratitude, there's a connection of joy, and we realize how interconnected we are with the universe, with the cosmos, with the celestial bodies, with people we don't even know,
nature.
With family members, with nature, with bugs.
Yeah, actually, you know, even like Harvard University has conducted tests like this, where they take they take like a large pool of people, and that are all seeking like mental health care, and before they go into therapy, they divide them into 3 groups, and like one group they instruct that like to within the next month or something to write 3 letters of gratitude. You're nodding. You've heard of this, Raghunath? Or you just
Never
think it's
heard of
cool?
it. I'm just nodding because I'm sort of like cold. That's a frigid nod.
So they had like, you know, 1/3 of the people write letters of gratitude, which involves like, you know, to write a letter of gratitude, you got to really think about what you're grateful for, and then you express it, and that's so it's putting people through a particular process. And then they had other people, I forget what they had. One group did like nothing, and the other group, I think they had to write letters that were more like critical, like, or, you know, I think they had them write about their own depression or anxiety or something like that. And then as time would go on, they would, you know, do further surveys of these people, and they found that the people that were setting aside time to count their blessings. Right?
That's what it is. My mom said that.
Yeah,
count your blessings.
Count their blessings. That those people had much better mental health and much greater, you know, much higher levels of happiness in life. And if our nature is to be happy, and when we think, when we feel and express gratitude, we feel happier. Maybe there's something there, right?
Maybe there's something there. Maybe it's not just, what do they call that nowadays, Mara? Toxic positivity. You're toxically positive. You know what? If it helps you, then big deal.
Well, I think,
you know, you're right. There's certain things you can't just like steamroll over. At the same time, the mind and your thoughts are real things. Yeah. And it's a practice. What you're saying is, people write it down, they write a letter. That is an actual, okay, I'm going to take my mind, which is running on autopilot since I was born, and I'm going to really consciously write down what I'm grateful for, who has loved me, who has contributed to my life. You know, when have even unfortunate things been a blessing in return that I couldn't see in the thick of the thin, but I'm seeing it now. Yeah.
Well, actually, even like you're saying, it's running on autopilot, but the fact is that the mind tends, particularly in the environment that we've created, you know, currently, but it tends to go towards negativity. The mind tends to go towards criticism. The mind tends to go through the loops of criticism and negativity, and so it actually requires, you know, like concerted effort to pull it out of that and actually appreciate what we got. But really, you know, like I think that's real, even on like the mundane level. Like, well, let me think about what good things are happening to me today. But on the spiritual level, you know, there's just nothing but optimism and positivity and gratitude, you know. And great thinker. You know, I have a quote here from Radhanath Swami, where he shares, that
Do tell, do
contentment lives only in the hearts of those who are grateful, right? Now this is from Srila Prabhupada, and now he's talking about like the Harvard study maybe showing in a practical way how depression is relieved through conscious exercises of gratitude, but this is getting more down to like our essential nature. He says, this is Prabhupada speaking. He says, now God is so kind that he is giving you light, air, everything that you require for your existence. Either you give him thanks or you do not give him thanks, the supply will be there. But somebody says, then what is the use if you're giving him thanks? What is the use, right? You're getting it one way or another.
Right.
He says the use is for yourself. What is that?
That's beautiful.
He says, what is that? Prahlad Maharaj said, Puyeta yena pumam anuvarnitena. That's Bhagavatam 7, 9, 12. He says, if I give thanks to the Lord, then I become purified. God does not want your thanks. He has already created. But if you give thanks, then you become purified. What is that purification? The purification is that gradually you become liberated from the influence of the materialistic modes. Right? So it's like we're trapped. We're under this influence, and we're feeling negative one moment and some positive the next moment, and we're kind of trapped in the ways. But if we look and we say, look at all we're being given, you just got to go out and spend a little time in nature, right, Raghunath? You just got to slow down and think a little bit. There's so much to be thankful for, and that's on the material level. But what to speak of if you take it to the level of devotion and rasa and so on, that our very existence, that we are a spark of God's energy, that our nature is ananda, is bliss. And it's just waiting for us to reawaken it. We're just kind of like a little trapped right now. Right, but we're just waiting to enter into that ananda and ultimately into that prema rasa. That is who we are. A lot to be grateful for. Got to meditate on it.
I like that concept of it's a practice, and hey, it's just one of the 6 pillars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
You're grateful.
Count your blessings.
We keep a tally of our blessings. We keep a list of our blessings. It actually changes us. Anyway,
it's good for yoga. It's good. It's right. Yeah,
it's good
you can't have a peaceful mind to
it's
focus.
Good for peaceful family. It's good for your overall countenance. What's the word? Countenance, Mara? Countenance. How you walk through your life. It's a good attitude.
Okay.
And if you don't have a good attitude, practice. This is how you practice.
Do you have any favorite prayers of gratitude?
Well, all the pranam prayers, the whole thing in the culture is prayer. We don't even start anything until we do the Namashresta Manumapi Sachiputram or Om Jnana Tamarandasya. We give thanks to all our predecessors.
That's such a good point.
Because we gave them everything. That we don't do anything in yoga culture before you give thanks to a teacher.
That's such a good point, because like anything that we're doing, like if we're going to read Bhagavatam, if we're going to lead a kirtan, whatever it might be, really it's all about. It's kind of like I'm kind of trapped here under the influence of those modes. I want to open up the channel to connect, right? To connect to those who are beyond this, to connect to that energy that's beyond this. And I'm really not qualified. So let me at least show my thanks. Let me at least express my thanks. And so that's done, right, by those kind of prayers. Or everything we do is preceded by that. I was thinking of, I know prayer. I know you know this one, the Namashresta Manum Api Sachiputram, that one.
Beautiful. Namashresta Manumapi Sachiputram Matra Sarupam Rupam Tasya Grachamudapurim Matarim Gostabatim Radha Kundam Girivaraho Shirari Kamaravasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurun Tam Natoshmi.
Wow. Okay. Nara, we want you to learn that one by next Thanksgiving.
I know that one.
Do you know
that one?
Get out. Really?
I do, yeah.
Get out.
Raghu told me to learn it once.
Okay, close your eyes. Let's hear it.
Namasrestram Manumapi Sachiputram Matra Svarupam Rupam Tasyam Grajamurupurim Matarim Gostavatim Radha Kundam Girivara Aho Shriradika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya
Pratita.
Kripa Kripayam Gurum Tam Natosmi. I stumbled a little on the last
I'm
slide.
thankful for that. Just hearing that. I had no idea you knew. That is incredible. Now, translation, please.
mongoose, but that's the translation that I have.
Namaste
Want me to do it? I got
Lord
it right.
Chaitanya, you want to give it the chance?
I'm fully indebted to Sri Gurudev,
Okay.
right?
Oh.
Because he has given me so many things. This is now we're getting to the real inner heart of the Bhakti-yogi, right? They're really appreciating that I've been given so many spiritual gifts. It's incalculable, the value of them. I might walk around like they're not even valuable. The value of this is incalculable. So he says, I am fully indebted to Sri Gurudev, to my guru, because he's given me so many things. He is giving me the holy name containing the highest form of thought, aspiration, and ideal. And he has given me the service of that great Savior, the son of Mother Sachi, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is like a golden mountain indicating the way to Krishna Lila. And Sri Gurudev has brought me to Svarup Damodar, who is Lalita, Srimati Radhika's closest friend. So this is, historically, it's Raghunath Das Goswami saying, you know, I was brought to Svarup. He's saying I was given the association of these great souls, right? Svarup Damodar was the most intimate associate of Sri Chaitanya. And he's Lalita Devi in his pastimes with Krishna, the closest friend of Srimati Radharani. Then he has brought me to Sri Rupa, who was ordered to distribute Rasa Tattva, and then to Sri Sanatana Goswami, who adjust our position in relation to Raghunuga Bhakti. Gurudev has brought me to Mathura Mandala, and he's brought me to Vrindavan, where Radha and Govinda have their pastimes, where the forest, hills, and every creeper, shrub, and grain of sand are udipana, their stimulus to help me remember Radha and Govinda.
Ooh, say that again.
Where every creeper, shrub, and grain of sand are stimuli to help me remember Radha and Govinda. He has given me Radha Kund and Giriraj Govardhan and Aho.
Aho, that's an Indian thing. Aho,
Aho, and yeah, and he has,
it means like just see.
Just see. And he has given me assurance of all of these, so I bow my head with deep respect unto his lotus feet. So that he writes that at the beginning of the Mukta Charita, which was that's a beautiful book of Krishna's Leela that he's seeing in his meditation. One of the most fun stories of all, is it not, Raghunath? Mukta Charita. But he opens it up by this kind of prayer, right? Let me give thanks. Always giving thanks. Always giving thanks. It's
a good name. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving.
Okay. Well, I'm thankful for you, Raghunath. I'm thankful for all the people listening to Wisdom of the Sages. I'm thankful for the Patreon donors. Thank you very much. Especially thankful. I'm thankful for Mara.
Then we're going to turn this into a Patreon pitch.
I'm thankful to Raghu.
If you're really thankful, you'd go to patreon.com/wisdom of the
Show your
sages.
thanks. No.
Prove your thanks and not let it just be some thing in your mind. Prove it with a monthly contribution.
Yeah, no, but I'm very thankful.
We're very
I'm very grateful today. I do.
All right. Are we going to read the Bhagavatam, sir?
Yeah, let's do it.
Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasvatim vyasam dato jayam madiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyana Tamarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances at their lotus feet.
Okay.
Reading from Canto 3, Chapter 28, Text 26.
This is like real official now. It's almost like being a church. Like then Mara kicks in.
Yeah.
Reading from.
You see the beautiful altar behind me here?
Yeah.
I've got that's Vishwambar's altar. Then Gore's got his little tiny altar next below it. You can't see it; it's right behind me. Then my altar is right under Subhadra. It's like our deities are having a play date.
That was called a squirrel. Okay.
A little bit of a squirrel, but hey, Maybe. Okay, yeah.
Text 26.
Okay, text 26. A yogi should then meditate on the chest of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The abode. Oh, I remember where we left off.
We left off with the nipples of the Lord. That's what we're
Yes, the
meditating on.
abode of Goddess Mahalakshmi. The Lord's chest is the source of all transcendental pleasure for the mind and the full satisfaction for the eyes. The yogi should then imprint on his mind the neck of the personality. Wait, the yogi should then imprint on his mind the neck of the personality.
We're moving
of
up the body.
Okay, who is adorned by the entire universe. Who is adored by the entire universe. The neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of the Kaustubha gem, which hangs on its chest.
On his chest. Well, that's, does it say Bhushana? You know that term? That's a name for Krishna, actually.
Adorned, Bhushana?
Bhushana means like...
Adorned, right?
Yeah, or to beautify.
Yeah, it's Abhi
like
Bhushana Artam.
Okay, yeah, but there's a term that means he beautifies the beautifier. He's the ornament of ornaments, or he makes the... In other words, generally someone puts on an ornament and it makes them look more beautiful, but when the ornament is put on Krishna, he's actually making the ornament more beautiful. So here it says, the neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of the Kaustubha gem, which hangs on his chest. Yeah.
The yogi, this is the next verse, text 27. The yogi should further meditate upon the Lord's 4 arms, which are the source of all powers of the demigods who control the various functions of material nature. Then the yogi should concentrate on the polished ornaments, which were burnished by Mount Mandara as it revolved. What does burnished mean?
Swung around, maybe? I'm not sure.
Mara? You're smart.
Burnished.
Mara's smart.
Polish.
Oh, polished. Really?
The yogi should concentrate on the polished ornaments which were burnished.
Okay.
Which were polished.
As it revolved.
They revolved and they polished them by Mount Mandara as it revolved. That makes sense. He should also duly contemplate the Lord's discus, the Sudarshan chakra, which contains 1,000 spokes and a dazzling luster, as well as the conch, which looks like a swan in his lotus-like palm.
That must be a beautiful vision. The conch in the palm of the Lord.
Conches
so now this is meditation on Lord Vishnu. Now we've come to his 4 arms and what he holds in each of those 4 arms.
The yogi should meditate on his club, right? Which is named Komodaki. Good trivia question. What's the name of Lord Vishnu's club? Komodaki. And is very dear to him. This club smashes the demons, who are always inimical soldiers, and is smeared with their blood. One should also concentrate on the nice garland on the neck of the Lord, which is always surrounded by bumblebees with their nice buzzing sound. And one should meditate upon the pearl necklace on the Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in his service.
Beautiful.
Continuing on. Text 29. The yogi should then meditate on the lotus-like countenance of the Lord, who presents his different forms in this world out of compassion for the anxious devotees. Oh, isn't that sweet? We're anxious. Just having a material body makes us anxious because there's always fear of loss. There's a hope to get something. I hope I get in shape. I hope I get a new car. I hope I get a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I hope. And then once we get it, there's fear and anxiety. I hope I don't lose my car. I hope I don't lose my girlfriend. I hope I don't lose my house, right? I hope I don't lose my health. His nose is prominent and his crystal clear cheeks are illuminated by the oscillation of his glittering alligator-shaped earrings. Now, we know they're not actually alligators, right?
Well, what's the word used?
Kundala, makara kundala.
Makara, okay.
So makara is not an alligator, but it's a
Alligator-like
celestial beast. But sometimes they translate it to shark. Sometimes they translate it to
gator.
Alligator.
Well, you're down there in Florida, so let's say gator.
The kids saw gators yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Tarun got on the back of one, just rode it around.
All right.
Just kidding. Just until everyone's like, "What?" He's looking at me like, "What? He did? You can't do that." These people from up north don't know anything. I know. The alligators are really mellow. They don't do much. They don't. It's not like they see you and attack you. Well, it's not like they see you and attack you. They're very tamasic and slow moving, and they eat once every two.
This is gonna be like one of those YouTube viral videos where like they show him saying this, and then they show him later in the day getting attacked by an alligator,
like flying out of the water, catching a chicken, going back in the water.
No, it's attacking you.
I've been very close to alligators in my life.
Okay.
I rode my bike past one in the Everglades. There's people just walk right by them.
All right.
They eat once every 2 weeks. You've got a 1 out of 14 chance
of surviving.
Or 13 out of 14 chance of surviving.
Roll the dice, Roger. Okay. The yogi then meditates on the lotus-like countenance of the Lord. No, that's one you just read.
Oh, okay. So the lotus-like,
you read it, although you read it like it was fresh. I'll give you that. The countenance.
The yogi then meditates on the beautiful face of the Lord, which is adorned with curly hair and decorated by lotus-like eyes and dancing eyebrows. By the way, lotus-like, unless you're unfamiliar with this expression, it means like a lotus sits in a swamp, but is untouched by the swamp water. So the Lord is never touched by the things of the material world. So he's got lotus-like eyes and dancing eyebrows. A lotus surrounded by swarming bees and a pair of swimming fish would be put to shame by its elegance.
His
Shame.
eyes, it's shameful. But the eyes are often compared to fish, because I think of the graceful way. We were talking about this yesterday, right? We were talking about Meenakshi.
Yeah, fluttering of the fish.
Yeah, the way they
flutter about.
Yeah. Flutter is the right word, but they
flutter.
They move.
It depends
they
on
shift
what
back
kind
and
of
forth.
Fish.
Fish, when you see his eyes, they're going back and forth, but real smooth and something like that.
The yogi should contemplate with full devotion the compassionate glances frequently cast by the Lord's eyes, for they soothe the most fearful threefold agonies of his devotees.
We were hearing about that yesterday, right? Like, it smashes the mountain of bad karma that we've got. That, what was the one before that? It said
the thunderbolts.
That was the thunderbolt one. And then the one before that. But there's all these descriptions, just getting back to what we are talking about yesterday maybe, but what's being presented here is that when you actually connect with this form, it's a total relief, It's like all the burden that you've been carrying, the burden of anxiety, and so you're relieved of it all. Like this is really what we're looking for. We're looking for it in so many other places, but it's right here in this form.
All right. There's some alligator discussion on the board I had to check out. Okay. Continuing on. By the way, it gets rid of the threefold miseries if you're unfamiliar with those. So those are the miseries caused by your own body. Miseries caused by other beings, right? Anybody have any of those? And miseries caused by nature. Gets rid of those miseries. His glances, accompanied by loving smiles, are full of abundant grace.
Nice.
Text 32. A yogi should similarly meditate on the most benevolent smile of Lord Sri Hari, a smile which, for all those who bow to him, dries away the ocean of tears caused by intense grief. Man,
think about that.
That is beautiful. The smile dries away the ocean of tears. Anyone feel, Mara, you feel like you've cried an ocean of tears in your life, Mara?
Yeah.
At least a pond.
I think
a big lake.
I think we should
Lake Erie.
I think we should have Kaylee should write a song about that, the ocean of tears. What do you think, Raghunath? That'd be
Ocean
a good
of
song.
Tears. It could be like a Britpop band. We're Ocean of Tears from Liverpool.
Good one.
Love when Kaustubha laughs.
Emo, good emo band.
It's an emo band.
Synth pop, yeah, I like it. That's perfect. They would have these weird haircuts, right?
Lake of Tears.
Yeah.
Okay. The yogi should also meditate on the Lord's arched eyebrows, which are manifested by his internal potency in order to charm the sex god for the good of the sages.
For the good of the sages. Do you understand what was just said there? Let's talk about that. What verse are we on?
I was just caught up in sex god. I was like, what?
Do you understand what's going on here? Raghunath? Sex god. Okay, so what text are we on here? Which one?
We're in
32.
32.
This is 32. Okay. Let's read it again.
A yogi should similarly meditate on the most benevolent smile of the Lord Hari, a smile which, for all those who bow down to him, dry away the ocean of tears caused by intense grief.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The yogi should also meditate on the Lord's arched eyebrows, which are manifested by his internal potency, in which to charm the sex god for the good of the sages.
So why is that for the good of the sages?
I don't know.
Okay. So this is how I understand it, right? That it said that Krishna, like he's so attractive that he's Madan Mohan, which means
he puts the sex god, I guess. So Mohan, the sex god, is Cupid. Kamadev makes you fall in love. Love is blind. He's like the lord of this type of illusion through romance. But
so his name is
Krishna,
Madan. Yeah.
Madan.
Madan is the name for Cupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Krishna puts Madan into Moha.
Which is?
Illusion.
Yeah, illusion. Let's say enchanting, right? Like his beauty, Krishna's beauty is so great that the one that's normally doing the bewildering, the one that's normally doing the enchanting, the one that's like empowered to enchant others, becomes enchanted by him. So he beats him at his own game. Well, let's why don't we just finish this thought before we go off on your squirrel, okay?
It's a good squirrel.
Can we do that? Okay, we'll get there. But so the point is that this is Cupid's expertise, right? That he'll put, and we've all seen or felt that experience where like you're bewildered by your infatuation with another person, you've fallen in love, you're and we call that moha, right? That enchantment. This is Kamadev's business. This is Cupid's business. He's the best at it. He's empowered to do it. He's on an intergalactic level. He's accomplishing this. Mm-hmm. And then Krishna comes along. He's so beautiful that actually Madan becomes bewildered by him. Cupid becomes bewildered by his beauty. It's that great. So why is that for the good of the sages? Because the sages, they want to keep their consciousness elevated above Cupid's power, right? Mm-hmm. But you need an alternative. You need something more beautiful to focus on, right? And so the beauty of the Lord's eyebrows becomes the focus of the sages. By focusing on the beauty in the face of the Lord, everything else seems paltry. Everything else seems, not so attractive. Everything else, the beauty of everything else fades in comparison to that. And therefore, they're beyond the power of Cupid to become bewildered. So it's for the good of the sages.
All right, here's my running off track.
I'm sorry to just, now that we're done with that, Raghunath,
let's get back to our chase the squirrels. Well, this is, in India, a lot of people are named Mohan. Why are they named Mohan if Mohan actually means illusion?
Hit me. Go. Tell me.
Huh? I don't know. I'm asking you a question, sir.
Well, because it's the name of Krishna. Because Krishna is a bewilderer.
His name is Madan Mohan.
Well, he's Mohan too. He's an enchanter.
Oh.
Right? Okay. He's an enchanter.
Yeah. There you go. He also he enchants us.
In different ways.
I think that's the answer.
All right. Well, let's maybe you could look up in the Sanskrit dictionary Mohan, Mara.
Yeah, Mara. Sanskrit names. Like baby names. Ever do that one? Google baby names. What am I going to call my baby? You guys have never done that. You have no babies. Both of you.
True.
Did you look up baby? Ever do that? Google baby names, Indian baby names. I've done it thousands of times.
Okay. Text 33.
Text 33.
Moha. Sorry, may I interrupt for a minute?
Yeah.
Moha, a magical art employed to bewilder an enemy.
Is that the only definition they're giving? Usually you get like 40 of them or something.
Yeah, check out baby names Mohan. Check out baby names Mohan.
What does it mean?
Does Madan mean Does Madan mean Cupid or does Mohan mean Cupid?
Madan Mohan. Madan
But does
is
Madan
the Cupid.
mean? Okay.
Yeah, and then Madan Mohan Mohini
Yeah.
would be the bewilderer of the bewilderer of Cupid.
Here's the meaning of Mohan is attractive, charming, interesting, delightful. That comes from like a baby name site.
Right.
Okay. Let's continue on.
It's attractive. Okay.
All right,
633.
next. With devotion steeped in love and affection, the yogi should meditate within the core of his heart upon the laughter of Lord Vishnu.
Amazing.
The Lord laughs. The laughter of Vishnu is so captivating that it can be easily meditated upon. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
When the Supreme Lord is laughing, one can see all of his small teeth. What does that mean? Which resemble jasmine buds, rendered rosy by the splendor of his lips. Once devoting his mind to this, the yogi should no longer desire to see anything else. Once you see his laughter and you see his teeth and his charming rosy teeth, which are like jasmine buds, you need not see anything else.
Read the commentary.
Okay. It is recommended that a yogi visualize the laughter of the Lord after studying his smile very carefully. These particular descriptions of meditation on the smile, laughter, face, lips, and teeth indicate conclusively that God is not impersonal. It is described herein that one should meditate on the laughter or the smiling of Vishnu. There is no other activity that can completely cleanse the heart of the devotee.
Right, boom. That's a big statement, right? There is no other activity that can completely cleanse the heart of the devotee.
I know. I can meditate on the candle. I can still my mind.
Yeah.
But I can't cleanse the heart. What good is my stilled mind if it goes right back to all the nonsense it was previously meditating on?
Yeah. What good is the still mind if you got a dirty heart?
Yep. Yeah. You got to clean the heart.
That's right. The exceptional beauty. Yeah, go ahead.
You go.
The exceptional beauty of the laughter of Lord Vishnu is that when he smiles, his small teeth, which resemble the buds of jasmine flowers, at once become reddish, reflecting his rosy lips. If the yogi is able to place the beautiful face of the Lord in the core of his heart, he will be completely satisfied. In other words, when one is absorbed in seeing the beauty of the Lord within themselves, the material attraction can no longer disturb them.
Okay, here's my gratitude right now. I'm going to give you gratitude.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that this book, Bhagavatam, is here in my... If I was born, just a few decades earlier, or if I died like in the 50s, I was born, you'd miss this whole thing.
Yeah. Well, if you were in the West.
There were times in the West where there's just no access to this stuff. We have access to it. It's very easy. And because of this access, it's given us, like what we were saying last week, a roadmap of life. But there's been times in our history, especially, in America, you couldn't get this stuff. It was sort of concealed,
Oh, yeah. You were going to do some lyrics for us today, Raghunath, weren't you?
Concealed, revealed, a revolution, a solution without bloodshed. Finally,
you're going to do another song.
Succession, placed in my possession.
You're going to do other songs of
Mara
gratitude.
has no idea of my musical background. She's just like she's a civilian.
Well, you hardly do anymore either. Like we were saying, we were talking about one of his songs earlier this morning. He's like, "Oh yeah, what are the lyrics of that?" And he's googling his shelter lyrics.
I'm old.
I was like, who would have pictured this? 30 years ago or something like that. You would be sitting here googling, which didn't exist, trying to find your own lyrics.
Yeah,
but let's hear them. Let's hear your lyrics of gratitude. You're googling them again?
Well, maybe. Did you like them?
I did. That's
sure if you
why am I asking for them?
Do you want in praise of others or appreciation?
Whatever you think is most appropriate for Thanksgiving.
Okay. Here's appreciation. Shelter lyrics. Appreciation. Gotta Google it. I went to genius.com to get it. Okay.
That's where they keep all your lyrics, Raghunath.
Oh man, they gave me the wrong one. Shelter appreciation lyrics. Sorry, this is I wasn't prepared for this. All right. Here we go. I have been born in the age of thoughtlessness, and I too commit the crime of living in this world, considering all to be mine. The earth, the air, the sun, the trees, like a body, all work in perfect harmony.
Mm-hmm.
Can we
gotta
fit
stop
into
and
the
think
system?
about that, right? You gotta stop and think about that.
The earth, the air, the sun, the trees, like a body. It works in perfect harmony. So will we as humans fit into that system, or will we create the disease?
Mm-hmm.
Our greatest wealth, it has been lost.
I mean, you know, all of that, what you're saying, when you say all that, you know, they say like the trees are the lungs, right?
Right.
And we are the disease because we're destroying the forests and we're eating away at our, we're like a cancer.
We're like a cancer. Like the best thing we can do, you want to save the earth, you want to stop global warming, get rid of all the humans. Quick. And
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for the show. Thanks for joining us tomorrow.
Happy Thanksgiving. Kill all the humans and happy Thanksgiving. Okay, let's hear the rest. Keep going.
Okay.
This is good stuff.
Our greatest wealth, it has been lost. I'd like to get it back at any cost. We dare live in a world with no appreciation. Appreciate. It's getting late. We've sealed our fate with all the damage that has been done. So much destruction so a few can have some fun. And I contemplate and I dedicate to getting myself out of this pathetic state of living without giving in a world where we're forced to become so numb.
This is good stuff.
Thank you. You could give classes on these lyrics, Kaustubha. Anyway,
Maybe we should do that.
It's our greatest deficit appreciation in this world. It's why things fall apart. It's why love falls apart. It's why people go to war with other nations. It's why we don't, that lack of empathy, another Shelter song, for hearing out trying to understand, trying to be a little bit more understanding and appreciate what we have in our life.
Was that song especially written about ecological?
It was more with the ecological spin. Yes. Yeah.
But it's.
But
like
that's part of it. That's part of developing appreciation too.
That's right.
You know. Okay. Where are we at here? Text.
35. No, 34.
34. By following this course, the yogi gradually develops pure love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. In the course of his progress in devotional service, the hairs on his body stand erect through excessive joy. Imagine that. Yes. I'm so joyful.
That's like horripilation, right?
Horripilation.
The goosebumps.
Yeah. Goosebumps. And he is constantly bathed in a stream of tears occasioned by intense love. So there's loving tears and sad tears. Gradually, even the mind, which he used as a means to attract the Lord, as one attracts a fish to a hook, withdraws from material activity. Mm-hmm. They've been fishing for a long time, haven't they? Mm-hmm. The fact that they've referenced a fish hook.
Yeah, fishing has been going on for a while.
Okay.
So now we're hearing the results of the meditation that pure love, prema develops, and that's manifests in the body. These symptoms, it sounds like a random thing, but actually this kind of thing is studied and written upon in almost like scientific detail, like in books like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Nectar Devotion, describes the different symptoms of bhava, or development when that sprout of love of God. And this is called, what is it called? Sattvika bhava, right? Which means, sattvika means it's pure, meaning it's like, what do we say? What's the term we use? Like when it happens without our trying, involuntary. It's like involuntary symptoms in the body. It's pure. It's just like it springs about of its own course, and like you got goosebumps, or tears start to pour from your eyes, because the depth of the emotional ecstasy that you're feeling is so intense. So that's what's being described here.
All right. Next verse.
Mm-hmm.
35. When the mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination and detached from material objectives, it is just like the flame of a lamp At that time, the mind is actually dovetailed with that of the Supreme Lord and is experienced as one with him because it is freed from the interactive flow of the material qualities. What? Let me try that again. Can I read that again?
Please.
It's one of those, ever read something and you're not even listening or hearing or understanding what you're reading? Ever do that?
All the time.
Do that. I do that every time I read.
But try not to do it when you're on the show.
Someone will say to me, what did you just read? I'm like, I don't know. You just read it. I don't know. When the mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination and detached from material objectives. Okay, I got that.
Mm-hmm.
It is just like a flame of a lamp.
It's burning bright, right? Like a steady flame. It's
flame of a lamp.
It's illuminated. It's
freed
glorious.
From material contamination, material objectives. Got it. At that time, the mind is actually dovetailed with that of the Supreme Lord. Okay, I get
so the
that.
mind itself is something that's made out of matter. It's not spiritual, but you've engaged it spiritually, so it's illuminated with spiritual energy now.
I'm getting it now. I've just had to read it slowly and concentrate.
Right.
And okay. At that time, the mind is actually dovetailed with that of the Supreme Lord and is experienced as one with him, because it is freed from the interactive flow of the material qualities. I think I understand that now.
Right. Material qualities being the gunas, right? The three gunas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It says, actually, yeah, that's the word used here. Guna pravaha. So, yeah. Beautiful.
Lovely.
Text 36.
Text 36. Thus situated in the highest transcendental stage, the mind ceases from all material reaction and becomes situated in its own glory. The mind does. Transcendental
ceases from material reaction. In other words, our mind and we've been discussing this, right? That there's a cycle of action and reaction. First we contemplate something, then we perform the action, then we have either manifest or unmanifested result to that action. Then there's also another reaction, is that the mind becomes shaped by it so that we might do the same activity again, right? So now you're locked into these reactions, right? So now it says here, which text was it, 36?
Yeah.
Thus situated in the highest transcendental stage, the mind ceases from all material reaction, right? It's become freed. It's broken free from that cycle.
At that time, the yogi realizes the truth of his relationship with the personality of Godhead. He discovers that pleasure and pain, as well as their interactions, which he attributed to his own self, are actually due to the false ego. Amazing, huh? Which is a product of ignorance.
Yeah, tomorrow. This is so deep. We should come back to this tomorrow. I'm not saying you have to stop speaking now, but I'm just saying I think we should. It's 9 o'clock. We should come back to this verse tomorrow. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, let's.
Go ahead, finish the verse, and we'll read it again tomorrow.
He discovers that pleasure and pain, as well as their interactions, which he attributed to his own self, are actually due to the false ego, which is a product of ignorance.
Takeaways, Mara?
Man, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I know. We'll come back.
Takeaways. The virtue of gratitude is essential to bhakti. Set aside time to count your blessings.
Count them.
Appreciation is our greatest deficit.
Yeah.
Contentment lives only in the hearts of those who are grateful.
Mm.
Only bhakti can cleanse our heart.
Mm.
We are searching for relief from our fear and anxiety.
Oh.
Offering thanks to God benefits us. Krishna showers blessings whether we're thankful or not. Yeah. And gratitude facilitates spiritual progress.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
I just want to share a couple more thanks, because these, like in the Wisdom Sages community here, there's Mara, because people don't know how much Mara does.
Oh, Kaustubha, yeah, Mara does do a lot.
Yeah,
does a lot.
Here.
There's Jiva.
They're crying oceans of tears.
That's right. There's Jiva and Nancy and everyone from the Bhakti Recovery Group. They're putting on Bhakti Recovery meetings every day for people, right?
all the contributors, the teachers who do workshops and classes on Patreon. I want to thank you for that. And all the contributors of Patreon means a lot to us, really, because me and Kaustubha, this is sort of like keeping our boats afloat. And we love to do this.
Nityananda Chandra, who does the shloka thing.
Him, love him.
There's Rachel, who behind the scenes is doing so much and who just left her very prestigious, high-paying job just to serve Wisdom of the Sages and Super Soul Now.
Yeah, grateful, Rachel. Thank you.
And with Rachel, like all the people that have become Sage Group leaders, which we're about to kick off. Many of you have now received letters that you're in a group and when the time is and it's about to start, and more of you will be as the days go along here. So my special thanks to all of them as well.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I know it's Thanksgiving. You didn't have to, and you're probably cooking stuff at home. Remember, tomorrow's a special day. It's Friday. It's Black Friday, actually. And there's a day to get all your shopping done at Walmart. Get there early, everybody. We're going to get there really early. That's why we're not doing it at 5 a.m. tomorrow, because we're going to be waiting in line, sleeping out tonight at Walmart. I am just totally making a bad joke. We'll see you tomorrow.
I got the parade now. I got it right outside my door.
Right outside the door. Kaustubha's going to go see the parade. A giant bullwinkle floating down the street.
For 10 minutes to come back home, I think.
I brought my kids there, my big kids, when they were little, to see them blow up the balloons. It's a very special
You saw
day.
them blowing them up.
Yeah.
You saw the
I never
parade
actually
or the
went to the parade. I just went to the
No, this place was
part.
packed with people for the blowing up thing last night.
The blowing up thing is just as much important as the parade itself.
There is no parade without the blowing up the floats.
Yes. Okay, let's get back on the third generation consciousness, Kaustubha. You and me are on like first generation consciousness. Look at Nitai the Illuminated. They don't care about blowing up any balloons. These guys just want to dance and chant.
That's right.